Gita chapter 14, verse 12. O Bharat, greed, activity, undertaking of actions, restlessness, craving, and cupidity increases when there is an increase in Rajas Guna. Gita chapter 14, verse 30. O Karunanandan, ignorance, unwillingness to prefer actions or perform actions, confusion, distress, and delusion are manifested with increase in tamas. These all three guns are like that. Gita chapter 14, verse 14. When one dies in the ascendancy of sattva, then he attains the pure world of great man of wisdom. So, in all the three guns, sattva is the most important for everyone. Gita chapter 14, verse 15. When one dies during the ascendancy of rajas, then he takes birth among one engaged in fruitful actions. When one dies during the ascendancy of tamas, then he takes birth in the wombs of unknowledgeable, deluded, senseless, and irrationals. Gita chapter 14, verse 16. The fruit of good and virtuous action is said to be sattvic and pure. Verily, the fruit of rajas is pain, and the fruit of tamas is ignorance. Gita chapter 14, verse 17. Knowledge arises from sattva, greed arises from rajas, confusion, distress, and delusion arises from the tamas. Whatever gun you have at that present moment or in continuity, these guns will be appear inside you. Gita chapter 14, verse 18. The people placed in sattva make progress and rise to the top. Those placed in rajas stay in the middle, and those placed in tamas have a downfall. So, sattvic one, the sattva one, has the greatest place in the life of any human beings. Gita chapter 14, verse 19. When the seer behold no agent other than the gun and knows me who is higher than the gun, he attains to my spiritual natures. After attaining the gun of sattvic gun light, Sri Krishna says that who attain to my spiritual natures is going to reach to him. Gita chapter 14, verse 20. When one transcends the three gun, evolve of the body, he gets himself free from birth, death, old age, and distress, and enjoy the pleasure of final liberations. And that is ultimate for any human beings. Gita chapter 14, verse 21. After listening all these, Arjun said to Lord Sri Krishna, O Prabhu, what are the indications of him who has transcended these three guns? What is his conduct, and how does he go beyond these three guns? Gita chapter 14, verse 22. Sri Bhagavan said to Arjuna, O Pandav, he who does not have illuminations, attachment with worldly objects and delusions when they are present, and does not yearn for them when they are not present. In both the circumstances, his behavior is same. Either he has what he has, and what he wants, what he has, nothing with him. In both the situations, his behavior should be the same one. What Sri Krishna saying to Arjuna? Gita chapter 14, verse 23. He remains indifferent by this gun, is not moved by them, and remains steady, assuming that gun are working, not is not wavering in his temperament. Gita chapter 14 verse 24. He is same in happiness and distress. He is stable in himself. He regards a chunk of earth, a stone, and a piece of gold alike. He remains tantamount amongst pleasant and unpleasant. He regards his praise and criticism as equivalent and not changes his mindset. Gita chapter 14 verse 25. He regards his honor and dishonor as equivalent. He is judicious in case of friends and enemy and who has renounced all activities. Such person is said to have surpassed the three guna of nature. Gita chapter 14 verse 26. The devotee who worship me with steadfast devotion and endure with endless service to me, he crosses the three guna and becomes qualified to attain the nature of the Brahma. So, when you always thinking about the superpower, super soul, and just admiring the things and just imitating the thoughts has been given in our life, we are near to attain that super soul. Gita chapter 14 verse 27. For I am the abode of Brahma, the immortal and the immutable of everlasting Dharma and of absolute spiritual bliss. What Sri Krishna saying in the chapter 14 of the Gita is very much relevant in nowadays. If you have not going to attain all the three guns and super one in that is sattva, then you have just to go with your soul to the param soul. Just surrender yourself to the soul, and that soul through nature going to bring you to that super soul. This is end of the Gita chapter 14.